Hey besties, it is time for the 5th annual International Women's Day celebration on Friday, March 7th. Go online to iwd2025.eventbrite.com or go onto our website at hypegirl.us for all of the details. Look forward to seeing you there.
This episode is powered by Hype Girl. You can find them at hypegirl.us. Hype Girl is an amazing company that helps women all over the country locate other women just like them by community events and also finding ways to express your passions out in the world and be more of who you are because the world needs your magic.
I say thank God they knew us when, because imagine if we I just met Mike now and he did not have the benefit of my 20-year-old boobs before I had kids. At least now he can close his eyes and remember what they used to look like. What if he never had that image? I'd feel bad for him. Thank God he knew what they looked like before I breastfed 2 children.
Well, I didn't have that same problem. Mine were just big from the jump because when I was little, I prayed for big boobs. So this is why, ladies, you got to be really careful about what you pray for. And I did. I prayed night after night after night for big boobs.
When you talk about that, it makes me think, do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro?
Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow?
Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier?
Do your boobs hang low?
Welcome to the Do It Ugly podcast. Here are your hosts, Stacey Lyon and Jenny King.
So I do have a topic for us today.
Ooh, okay. What is it?
You know, I was telling you about this movie that I recently watched called The Idea of You, which is currently my Roman Empire. It's got Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzine, who is a spicy little something. He's so adorable. He's a Brit.
I love a British accent.
And they didn't put him in they did not put him in an American accent in this film.
Okay.
So Stacey has not seen this yet. Ladies, if you've seen it, you will 100% know. Hello. It's so good.
Okay. This is on Amazon Prime, by the way.
It is on Amazon
if you
Prime.
haven't seen it like me and you want to know where to go find it.
And it's based on a book. And the woman who wrote the book, I apologize, I do not know her name. I will look it up.
Thank God we are not live right now, Jenny King, and we have a producer that can cut out all of this.
I don't think you should cut out any of this because it shows how ridiculous of a human I am. Okay. So Robin Lee, and her name is spelled Robinne. And so, not to keep you in suspense any longer, but the book is about Anne Hathaway, who is a beautiful, successful 40-plus-year-old woman who's divorced. She's got a daughter. She shares custody with a husband who married a much younger woman.
Woot, woot.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you know, Anne's character feels some type of way about that. There's a lot of obvious sort of dissension in the beginning of the movie, understanding how she feels about the new bride. But throughout this film, I'm not going to give any spoilers, or at least I'm going to try not to. She basically goes somewhere with her daughter because the husband had set up this whole trip. He paid for all the things, and then work got in the way, and he was like, oh, I can't take her. And the mom, Anne Hathaway's character, already had great plans. And of course, they get interrupted by the ex because the ex can't do what he said he's going to do. So suddenly she's thrust into having to take their daughter and their friends to this event.
Okay.
And in the course of being at this event, which per the movie is Coachella, it's a little different in the book, but they go to Coachella and she meets a 24-year-old pop star. And they start this wild, whirlwind affair. I mean, it is
her.
When I tell you it is so hot and spicy, so spicy.
If men can do it, women can do it too, right?
Well, but so that's the discussion.
I hope he's half her age.
That's the discussion.
Go Anne.
That's the discussion for today. And when I say spicy, the sex scenes were actually really thoughtfully done. They weren't graphic. There's not a lot of skin on skin. It's just, there's just really nicely done innuendo and kissing. I don't know. It's just really beautifully done.
Were you a little disappointed by that?
No, that's what I'm saying. The way that, I am a lover of the spice. And so typically I would have been looking for it, but no, it was so beautifully done in this movie.
Okay.
But the reason I bring up this book is because that's an interesting topic of conversation. For women over 40, dating a younger man, How do you feel about that? Because men do it all the time and nobody blinks an eye. But when women do it, it's...
I want to high five her. I'm like, yes, go for it. I think it's fantastic.
Well, I think it's really great too. But you know what? I felt with this movie that there would be a lot more women being like, yeah, go you, go Anne, if that was you in real life. But let's go to a real life example. I know you probably don't follow Kristen Cavallari. Do you?
Sometimes I have hit or miss with her. I was a big Hills fan. And then when she had her reality show with, what was her football husband? What was that show?
Jay Cutler.
Yes, but I don't remember the name of her show. Do you? Or
It was like
whatever it was
something
called.
with Cavallari, I think.
Something, not keeping up. Anyway, whatever it was
Yeah.
called. I watched it and I liked it, but I liked when they showcased her entrepreneur side. I like her Uncommon James jewelry line.
Beautiful.
And I liked when they showed glimpses of that side of her.
Yeah.
Because you never would have imagined if you watched The Hills that she would turn into this business mogul to create this huge brand.
And she's amazing. She's an incredible businesswoman.
And she's gorgeous.
Oh, she's stunning. But what's so interesting is there's this whole social media thing that's blowing up right now because she is dating this really young guy.
She is.
Yes, she is.
Go Kristen.
He's in his 20s, and he's part of this collective of guys. They have a social media. It's called the Montana Boys, and they're all very good looking. They get on social. They do these videos where they very badly lip sync country music songs, but they look really good doing it.
Okay.
Some people hate it. Some people love it. But there's a lot of people who are just coming hard after her.
Why?
For dating someone so young. And so I find that interesting because if you look in the comments, a lot of the women are the same demographic that are over here conceptually loving the idea of you, but then hating on a woman who's really doing it. So that to me was super interesting.
That is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if it's because, and I have to tell you, like my original thought was, oh yeah, she should have fun and date and play and do all the things. But I don't know if I could see myself marrying someone half my age and building a life with them like typically men would do, right? They always marry, put a ring on the younger lady and they lock her down. I feel like if it were in reverse, if it were me, like I might be someone that's just more like a play thing than a serious life companion. I don't know if I would introduce him to the children, you know?
I don't know how I feel about it because I think there's always this interesting discussion, and you and I have been talking about it a lot over the last couple of years about how when you get to this stage of your life, when you've wifed and you've mommed and you've built businesses and you've sort of had those moments where you are up and then you fall and then you do this rediscovery thing that happens. Some people used to call it a midlife crisis, right? But when you go through all of that, I have to imagine a little bit that maybe having a younger partner would make sense because as you're going through this rediscovery, they're helping you reconnect with those parts of yourself that you lost and remembering that you're funny and you're sexy and you're someone that can relax and have fun and you aren't just this horrific bitch version of yourself that life molded you into when you had to, handle all the shit and survive through it and figure out how to come out on the other side. So I don't know. I have to wonder if maybe there is some merit to having a younger partner and then building a life with them because you get to go back to the joy of what it's like to build something.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I try not to lose those parts of myself because I do love that part of me, right? And there is a very clear line, though, between when you have to adult and you can't necessarily be your fun, free-loving self. Yeah. But there is a time to put the adulting, like a pin in it, and to be able to relax and be yourself and have fun and be silly.
But also, who's to say a younger partner isn't someone who's ahead? Maybe they're more advanced. Maybe they're able to adult with you in a real way. Now, obviously, this movie is a little bit of like a bubble scenario because the guy is young, hot, rich because he's a pop star. So he's got the financial means. It's not like you're going to date a 23-year-old barista at Starbucks who can't
He has
contribute.
to have a trust fund.
But I'm just saying. So yeah, for real, there's got to be, I think there definitely has to be some outliers. And so like these guys that Kristen Cavallari is dating, I think they're making their own money through social, but she's also a very wealthy woman. So finances aren't a concern for her.
Is it a serious relationship though, or is it just fun?
When I called her last week, she forgot to tell me that. I don't know the answer to that. But I'm so here for it. I'm like, she must be getting all the good D. That's all I know. Because I'm like, when they're young and spry and they say in your 40s that your sex drive is the highest it's ever going to be. That's what they say. But I just thought that was such an interesting idea. And I'm curious as to why people feel so much more comfortable with it from a male perspective versus the opposite. Because do you remember when Demi Moore was dating Ashton Kutcher and everybody lost their absolute marbles over that.
That's maybe because Bruce Willis was the ex. I don't know.
Oh, Brucey Bruce.
I know. I feel so sad for him now.
He's having such a tough time right now.
Yeah, I do remember when people were just up in arms because Ashton was very close in age, I thought, to her daughters, right?
Yeah.
And isn't that interesting when you're dating someone that is the same age or maybe even younger than your children at that point?
But I just have to wonder, like, I'm obviously somebody who's extremely, extremely violently against anyone who would have a relationship with an underage person.
No,
like,
we're not even talking about that.
We're
at
not
all.
talking about that. But
No.
I feel like people view that in the same way, like you're robbing the cradle if you're in your 40s and in their mid-20s. But if they're in their mid-20s, they're into adulthood.
They are.
It's not like their mom's still changing their diaper unless they got some weird fucking relationship.
Yeah,
I don't know. So to me, it seems like it could be a possibility.
it could be.
It could be if you're in that phase in your life where you just want to,
It's interesting because I've always dated older. Maybe I need a youngster in my life.
Do you think your husband would mind? You think the hubs might take
I
issue
don't
with
know.
that?
I'll have to ask.
Producer, let us know. Weigh in.
Oh, yeah, no. You know what? No. Yeah, no. No.
You married younger, right?
By like a few months.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't rob the cradle, ladies.
Okay.
It's okay. So let's just assume that you have this amazing relationship with this person. You're dating somebody in their 20s and it's going great. And obviously the sex is fantastic and everything feels new and fresh. And then comes the moment where you have to go home and meet the parents who are your age. Could you do that dinner?
Oh, yeah. You probably have a lot in common with mom.
I don't know that I could do that dinner and look mom straight in the face and be like, this is a really good casserole, Carol.
Can I get the recipe?
Your son's a fantastic human. Like, I don't know.
Thank you for raising such a passionate lover, Karen.
Well, if her name's Karen, she would not be happy about this. But Carol.
Sorry.
No,
Carol.
that's okay. We'll keep it Carol because Karen's going to make it weird. Karen's going to make it really, really weird. I just think about that and I'm like, that would be the thing. If you're in your little bubble and you're in the middle of the excitement, it's all very fresh and new, but then you have to go into real life and watch people have feelings about it. That would be a tough road. But yes, if you have not seen this movie, when I tell you that I have watched it an embarrassing number of times.
How long has it been out?
Like a week and a half. And I don't even have time to watch movies.
I'm like, how many times could you have watched it in a week?
Oh my. And like I said, an embarrassing number of times because the scenes are just so good. There's this one scene where they've just gotten together and it's like this dance scene to the song Dance Hall Days, which I love. Song? You don't know Dance Hall Days?
I don't know. Sing it.
From the 80s? I am definitely not going to sing it, but I will play it for you. Yeah, it's an 80s classic, but there's just so much fun in this scene, and it is literally one of my favorites, and it involves chicken fingers. I know. You're just going to have to watch it.
Did she have to cut up his food?
No, he took care of his own chicken fingers and hers too. No, but it's a great, great scene, and there's so many little fantastic moments in this film, and that's why I loved it so much. But hold please, Dance Hall Days. Thank you, Spotify. It's by Wang Chung.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just didn't know that is what it was called. Okay. I got you.
It just makes me so happy.
Okay. Now I know why you couldn't sing it.
Well, the lyrics are also like, of any 80s romance song, they're not quite as like sweet as you'd like. Like one of the lyrics in this song, matter of fact, I don't think you could even write this song today, but it says, take your baby by the hair.
Pull her. It was by the hand.
Well, that's the first one, but in like one of the last verses, it says, take your baby by the hair, pull her close, and there. And then it says, pull your baby by the ear and play into her darkest fears. And I was like, ooh,
what?
Like, it's saucy. Yeah. So,
Okay, then.
I know. Are you feeling flushed? It's a little spicy.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we were all grooving out to.
Oh, honey, all the songs were so like gross and inappropriate back in the 80s. We just didn't know because it had a cool beat and a synthesizer. We had no idea. But yeah, so there's so many like really fun curated scenes in this movie. And obviously I'm married. I'm not dating anybody in their 20s. My husband's 41. I'm 42. But it's just the idea of even in today's society in 2024, when you can be anything you want to be, you can be a dragon slayer if you want to, apparently. you know what I mean? You could choose whatever the hell you want to be. Then why can't you be someone who dates someone younger without scrutiny?
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, we're not going to do it.
I mean, obviously not. not IRL.
IRL? You're so trendy, IRL. Can you tell the kids what that means?
In real life.
We're so cool,
But
guys.
a girl can dream.
I mean, a girl does dream.
Just saying.
That, I mean, yeah. Watch the movie. The idea of
I mean,
it's
I'm married.
fantastic.
I'm not dead. I can look. I just can't touch.
And I don't want to give any slight to the author, but I am not reading the book. After seeing the movie, I'm refusing to read the book because the book is very French.
Ooh la la.
And the way the book ends is not the happy ever after. Because, French have to do everything very avant-garde. It has to be
Dramatic.
very yeah. But if you are someone who likes a French love story, then definitely read the book.
Okay.
But the movie's freaking phenomenal.
I always like a happy ending.
Me too. Always. And you cannot read a spicy book.
Double entendre. Bum, bum.
Don't. You cannot read a spicy book without a happy ending. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work for me. Okay. Reading spicy books will totally mess up your mental health. Because suddenly you're like, that doesn't sound so bad.
I can't with you.
I know. I'm such a degenerate. I'm really trying not to be. For our listeners, I love you so much. I'm so sorry.
The Catholic girl in me always feels like I need to go to confession after we talk.
Because of me? Well, okay. Well, thank you for listening. This has been a good one.
Is this an episode?
Yeah, this is definitely an episode.
Is it?
100%.
Are you
yes.
sure? Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, ladies, for spending another episode with us. I'm not sure if you learned anything today or if you just added a movie and some books to your reading list. But either way, thank you for being with us and keep it spicy.
Absolutely keep it spicy. And look, if the only thing you did was add a movie and a book to your roster, I feel like that is an absolute win. And just go ahead and drop in the comments under the episode. Thank you, because you're welcome. Love you, mean it. All right, ladies, see you next time. We're out.
Bye.
Hey Hype Squad, it's Mel. Have an idea for an upcoming show topic? Want to ask a question or comment on something crazy my mom or Aunt Jenny have said? Or do you just want to learn more about upcoming events? Visit us at hypegirl.us.
You know what? No. Yeah, no.